guys, today we have another anime again. That's Vegan Digital Part 2. So let's see this. So we got a premiere going forward. Yeah, everyone hates you. That is why there's only 4 people in the premiere. So I got to stop. I think I encourage you. So guys, what do we start off with? We start off with Mark Robot. I think. Yeah, Mark Robot. I cannot find this video again, but I will find it. Give me a second. Okay, we found this. Let us react to it again.
As opposed to just swimming around freely through the middle. And soon enough, she had things figured out. Now, admittedly, this first challenge was a bit of a softball, because having observed...
Look at that face right there. Guys, look at that face. Sorry, guys. Look at that face. That is called a normal face for that Vegan DJ. Always and grateful for everything. Where do we start
all their
off
vital
with?
organs reside.
Where do we start off with?
Free.
What do we start
Ways
off
to
with?
scoot themselves around. And on top of how
Yeah.
playful she is, it's
sorry,
hard
guys,
not
I
to
will
form a
repeat
quick
it again,
bond. For
kinda.
example, she loved to go up and wave her tentacles in the jet stream, which I assume is the octopus equivalent of a dog sticking.
That's because she wants to be in the ocean with the current.
I think we
Here's a little reminder.
Let us see a little bit more.
Do you fish do in fact feel who self? What about all the animals that are?
I did. What am I doing recording this footage right now?
What you wrote here in the words of her liking you, even for 1 second, Mark.
One
Just in a
second.
minute, but beyond just being able to really securely latch onto things like my hands,
Oh.
she's so strong! Oh my god! Oh. Her suckers
Oh my
are
God,
also
cool.
gathering information about me, like my smell, taste, and
I'm not
color.
saying
And so after just
you
a few
could
weeks,
have
given
been
how
because
playful
I'm
she
saying
is,
Mark
it's
is
hard
the
not to
coolest
form a
person
quick
ever.
bond. For example, she loved to go up and wave her tentacles in the jet stream, which I assume is the octopus equivalent of a dog sticking.
That's because she wants to be in the ocean with the current. Here's a little reminder. Don't be the vegan non-vegans want you to be. Be the vegan the animals
I am
want you to
legally
be.
making that face right
Speak
now.
out so they can be free.
That is food. And that is food. And that is food.
Which I assume is the
another
octopus
one is
equivalent of a dog sticking its head out a car window.
Oh,
She could
cool.
play catch with us, she
Oh
had
my
a propensity for selfies anytime she saw a camera, and whenever we'd put a toy submersible in her tank, she would go full 20,000 leagues under the sea.
You mean because she was terrified that you put a foreign object in her new quote-unquote home? It's wrong to use animals. It's wrong to eat them, wear them, experiment on them the way that you're doing here. None of it's okay.
And since no one wants to be the bad guy in Finding Nemo, as much as we'd already come to love sashimi here at Crunch Labs, I did some investigating.
Oh, looks like we have a comment. Let's see what you wrote here. In the words of Kurt Cobain. Uh-oh. Let's remember, boys and girls, that Kurt Cobain was a drug addict. Somebody who was too afraid to face reality. A coward. And an ignorant person who self-harmed. Many researchers have shown that fish do in fact feel pain. They try to relieve pain when they are experiencing it, and they try to avoid it at all cost. Kurt Cobain had no grasp on reality and didn't even understand basic science.
How it's mean? Is that the real meaning right now? Is that the real meaning? Let me go to Google real quick. Bro, I gotta do this thing right now. Oh my god, I'm so misspelling right now. Yeah, that's not what I'm asking for, but let's just dig around, you see. Okay, my life. Let me just go to this again.
On reality and didn't even understand basic science. X. Let's move on.
I did some
That is not
investigating and
that
found
is
out from the pet store we
fact.
got her from the exact spot they pulled her out of the ocean. The only problem with my plan of returning her was she'd been hand-fed now for quite some time. So the idea was that if she could figure out and remember how to solve an obstacle course maze, then I would be assured that she could figure out and remember her early days hunting in the ocean, and we could send her back home with confidence. Phase 1.
Oh, you're planning to send her home? Really? What about all the animals that are dead in your intestines right now?
They are not dead.
Are you planning to send them home too, Mark? Yeah, I didn't think so. Hypocrisy much? Love animals.
I hate this app. I hate the app.
Be kind, be love, be vegan.
You are forcing people to be vegan.
One of the plan was to give her some challenges and then observe her behavior
This
to understand what
one
capabilities
is
she
the
actually
most-
had. And as it turns out, it's a lot. For starters, their ability to color and shapeshift is unmatched in the animal kingdom. For example, can you spot the octopus hiding in plain sight right here?
No, I
The only thing more impressive than that is when you slow it down and play it in reverse to see just how quickly and convincingly these changes occur. And it's not just camouflage as a form of protection, they can also mimic the shape of larger, more predatory animals like eels.
This part is good, Mark. You're showing how interesting octopi are. That's good.
That is not, but that is
But why don't you
octopus.
follow up with some sentences that say we should not be using them? Why don't you say that, Mark?
And as sashimi shows here, and you can see here, they've even come up with some pretty creative ways to scoot themselves around. And on top of that, there's stories from octopus researchers where they will recognize and shoot water at only one specific person anytime they walk by the tank. And they'll still recognize that person even if they switch clothes with other people. Or there's other stories where the octopus will repeatedly shoot water jets at the light switch to turn off the lights in the room. It's also not uncommon for them to escape their tanks at night to better map out the room they're being stored in, or to even raid the other tanks for food, only to return to their tank in the morning like nothing ever happened. And after a month or two of observation, once we had really come to understand each other, we had all the data we needed to enter phase 2. So after a lot of brainstorming, CAD, 3D printing, and laser cutting, we eventually landed here, starting at the conclusion of the 9-part obstacle course with the Golden Vault. If she can figure out how to unscrew the vault door, well then she's earned the 3 pounds of her favorite food, shrimp, contained therein. And the reason we know it's her favorite food is because over the course of a week, we prepared an underwater seafood buffet with 4 different food options. And all 4 times we repeated the experiment, the aroma from the shrimp was consistently the most irresistible. But
What's the point to all this, Mark? Is it really just to make money? Can you not find another way?
That is for science, actually. You don't understand basic science.
Without taking these innocent creatures and using them as objects?
in order to earn that succulent reward, she's got her work cut out for her, starting back at the beginning with challenge number 1, the over-under. If she finds a way to get under this barrier through these rocks, well then she's got to find a way to get over this barrier through these floating balls. And if she manages that, then it's through the green circular portal where she'll find herself face to face with this 4-panel revolving door. And if she works out how revolving doors work and makes it through the next green portal, well then Sashimi will basically be met by a wall.
And what happens when she is through different phases here and feeling completely trapped? You think this is joyful? It's not. How can you think that it is okay to not feed an animal unless they jump through hoops?
How can you think that how much octopus has IQ? Did you know how to do that? Did you know how to do that without experimenting? My phone literally just fell off.
Do you also think it's okay to take lions out of the wild and to force them in circuses and elephants? I presume so, given that this is your idea of ethics.
And at this point, it's game over, unless she correctly deduces that by pushing this block out, she can pass through the corridor and continue her journey upwards to the ball drop. And this is where things level up a notch, because dexterity becomes much more critical.
This gives me nightmare. Do not show the picture to anyone. I'm home alone now. Stop playing that music. Did you not know how to edit?
She'll be trapped because the porthole out is blocked by this red gate. That is unless she figures out how to hit the emergency exit button, which will push this glass counterweight ball down off the edge, thereby pulling the gate up and allowing entry into perhaps my favorite obstacle, the fish out of water.
Run, run, run from humans. They're trying to stab you. They're trying to murder you, to call you bacon and burn you in a frying pan.
For eating.
The only way for Sashimi to continue her progress would be to flex her ability to comfortably live on land for up to an hour by crawling out of the water, up, over, and back down on the other side.
Comfortably. It's incredible what you're doing. It's absolutely horrific what you're doing.
I don't understand people. I don't understand the entitlement of people.
How dare you do this to her?
Wait. Is that video another concept that vegan teacher is using? Okay. When is this made? It's teachable 17 higher.
And to teach 27 million of your followers that this is okay. Do you not understand what you're doing here? You're essentially giving an entire generation the green light to do all kinds of tests on their animals. This is horrific.
This is horrific.
Be like Joe Bartolozzi.
Vegan.
Tap into your empathy.
Fucking vegan.
Come on and sing the song.
Fucking vegan.
And
Yours
so
vegan.
much today.
No, that is not okay for kids. I'm a kid, but I watched that one time and it gave me nightmare. It showed me the picture of the animal dying, animal just abusing and cooking while alive. It's not good for the children. Are you a teacher of a murderer or a psychopath?
Where after passing through the portal, she gets a bit of a power-up, because on the backside of the snorkeling fat Gus is a shrimp. Now this is a bit of a throwback to the tourist trap on the squirrel maze, where a strategically placed snack led to a timely photo op.
Except that the squirrel is free. Don't you get it? The squirrel is not in a cage. The squirrel does not have to go underwater for an hour. You're taking the octopus out of the water to perform.
I'm in the ocean and trap for octopus too. Or you call it octopi? I'm in the ocean is trapped too. The ocean is bigger, but I know that they are trapped. And they cannot survive underwater. So how are we gonna know what angle are they and stuff like that? If they cannot survive on the land long enough, so we got to trap it. And aren't your dog trapped in your vegan world? It's not good. This
Some sort of a trick
grandma
for you.
is abusing
So you can make money.
abusing human mind.
Entitlement of
Abusing
people.
In this case, I call it the Medusa, because the hope is that as she eats the shrimp with her beak on the underside of where her legs all come together, it will look like Fat Gus has 8 braids of beautiful flowing hair. Fat Gus has 8 braids of beautiful flowing hair.
Animals are not toys or decorations. Animals are not here for our experimentation.
Wait,
And now that she's feeling refreshed, Sashimi can hopefully finish strong with the penultimate challenge, which is sort of a double obstacle, because there are 6 holes in the top, ranging from small to really small. And if she takes the easy route by squeezing through the least small hole, well, then she she has a lot more means to deal with, as opposed to the smallest hole that puts her right at the finish. Either way, at this point, she's made it here, and if she solves the final puzzle by unscrewing the vault door, she's not only earned the all-you-can-eat seafood buffet, but she's proven she's quick enough on her tentacles to handle being returned back to her ocean home to the very tight...
That's all, guys. Yeah, this is the one.
Followers, that this is okay. Do you not understand what you're doing here? You're essentially giving an entire generation the green light to do all kinds of tests on their animals. This is horrific.
Be fucking vegan.
Be like Clover, so
Be fucking vegan.
tap into your empathy.
Be fucking vegan.
Come on and sing the song.
Be fucking vegan.
And Google vegan.com.
Be fucking vegan.
Emotional damage.
Where after passing through the portal, she gets a bit of a power-up, because on the backside of the snorkeling fat Gus is a shrimp. Now this is a bit of a throwback to the tourist trap on the squirrel maze, where a strategically placed snack led to a timely photo op.
Except that the squirrel is free. Don't you get it? The squirrel is not in a cage. The squirrel does not have to go underwater for an hour. You're taking the octopus out of the water to perform some sort of a trick for you, so you can make money.
The entitlement of people.
In this case, I call it the Medusa, because the hope is that as she eats the shrimp with her beak, on the underside of where her legs all come together, it will look like Fat Gus has 8 braids of beautiful flowing hair. Fat Gus has 8 braids of beautiful flowing hair.
Beautiful.
Animals are not toys or decorations.
Is that a pet? Okay, so that vegan teacher, this video is absolutely insane now. Cause you are showing a pet and you have a pet. That is a dog and that is a puppy. So you are not a cool woman, you know.
Animals are not here for our experimentations. Animals deserve a Bill of Rights.
I can see that, but I cannot really sing. But like animals, oh my gosh, animals are here to eat. God gave us animals to eat and have pets and stuff like that and love. They have love already and stuff like that. But we need some protein to. You never have protein, so.
For their protection.
And now that she's feeling refreshed, Sashimi can hopefully finish strong with the penultimate challenge, which is sort of a double obstacle, because there are 6 holes in the top, ranging from small to really small. And if she takes the easy route by squeezing through the least small hole, well then she has a lot more maze to deal with, as opposed to the smallest hole that puts her right at the finish. Either way, at this point, she's made it here, and if she solves the final puzzle by unscrewing the vault door, she's not only earned the all-you-can-eat seafood buffet, but she's proven she's quick enough on her tentacles to handle being returned back to her ocean home to the very tide pools she was raised in. So with everything in place...
So that's going to make you look like some sort of a hero. Is that the idea? You're going to return her home? What about all the other animals in the pet store? Why aren't you making a protest against pet stores in general? Oh,
Wait.
that's right. Because you buy from them. These
your
octopus
dog
that you took
buy
out
from
will be
pet store?
replaced because there's something called supply and demand market.
Basic
I
brain.
think you know this.
I don't understand people. I don't understand the entitlement of people.
All that was left to do
You
was
understand
open the
people.
small valve, and as the smell of fresh shrimp made its way to her tank, she made her
There's
way
a
down the
literally
tube
a
like an
diamond
8-legged
building.
gladiator to her saltwater coliseum.
Reminder for Mark. It is the position of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics that an appropriately planned
In part
vegan
one,
diet
we
is
have-
helpful for all stages of life, including pregnancy, lactation.
Boring.
Girls eventually outsmarted my rope bridge of instability by just jumping over it altogether. And I really should have seen this coming, because as you can see in this video of an octopus escaping from a ship, as long as an opening is bigger than their beak, which is the only actual hard part of their body, then they can eventually squeeze through it. In fact, if we roll that back, you can see Sashimi's beak, or mouth, right here. And while this part looks like a big nose, that's actually their main body, where all their vital organs reside, like their brain, stomach, gills, kidneys, ink sac, siphon, and their 3 hearts. Two other cool facts about octopi is their blood is blue because it's copper-based, since that's more efficient in cold, low-oxygen environments. And if they lose an arm, they can regrow it completely, and it will look indistinguishable from the original.
Which you can see if you go and watch that documentary called My Octopus Teacher.
Next up was the block push. Once again, she got to this point and was sort of stumped without an obvious path forward. But this is where their natural curiosity pays off, because she's not just feeling surfaces with her arms, but also constantly pulling and pushing to see what she can interact with. And so sort of by default, she figured out this red part of the wall doesn't push back as hard, which cleared the way up to the ball drop.
Maybe Mark doesn't know this, but he should be protesting the fact that it was recently announced that in Spain there are plans to have an octopus farm, the first one ever, which, as you can see, would obviously be torture for these innocent creatures who are as smart or even smarter than
Shut up, Bill.
Mark Robber, you should be better than Nikocado Avocado. Why are there dead bodies here? Is this a cemetery? Why are there so many corpses here? Where is everyone's empathy? Why is there so much death in the store? Why do you think you need to buy it? Why is there so much death? Is this a morgue? Is it time to be vegan? Is it time to try it? Why are there dead bodies here? Is this a cemetery? Why are there so many corpses here? Where is everyone's empathy? Being vegan is healthy for all ages, and yes, even our dogs can be vegan too. Please can we walk away from this place of death? Please can we try something new?
Do not use other company gift in your channel. Eat animal if you love them. You can still eat animal.
You're your dog. You can Google vegan recipes too. Today can be the day you change your life around. Today can be the day you grow your wings and break free from your cocoon.
We can
Why
make it
are
juicy
there dead
enough.
bodies here? Is this a cemetery?
No, it's a stone.
Why are there so many corpses here? Where is everyone's empathy? Why is there so much death in the store? Why do you think you need to buy it? Why is there so much death? Is this a morgue?
I don't understand people. I don't understand the entitlement of people.
What is Skywater doing there?
Is it time to try it? Yes, it's time to try it.
And this was the
Did you
moment I knew
see
for sure
if what
I was
I
in over
see?
my head. Because while basically maintaining eye contact with me as a flex, she reaches up with one arm and then twists the bar, which dislodges the ball, allowing her to clear them out and move on. And this feels like the perfect moment to tell you that my absolute favorite fact about the octopus is that they are truly the closest thing we have to intelligent alien life on this planet.
If aliens came to Earth and really wanted to eat you, would you say, no problem, and let them take a bite out of your mom and dad too? If you wouldn't want aliens to hurt you, then leave the animals alone. Don't eat them, don't wear them, don't use them, or take off.
Promulgator for kids. I heard you. That vegan teacher. I'm drinking water literally right now, and I choke because of her face. I just see her face, and I have chills. Like when I see her face, like I suddenly have anxiety now because I see her face. Yeah.
Over their home, leave the animals the fuck alone. Yeah. So leave them alone. Okay?
Is that a swear word? Are you a teacher or a psychopath?
Let them be.
This is a very simplified version of a tree of life. These kind of diagrams show you how all life is related and what evolved from what. How do we know this? Well, by being true scientific detectives and looking for clues. For example, a few hundred years ago, scientists noticed that us humans have 7 vertebrae in our necks, but so do giraffes. But wait a sec, so do whales, mice, elephants, lions, horses, and bats. So that's a clue they all share a common ancestor and belong to this group called mammals. And it's not just neck bones. Watch what happens if you compare the arm bone configurations of a human to a bat, to a chicken, to a turtle, to a dolphin.
Reminder, don't eat dolphins, don't eat bats, don't eat chickens.
It's wild what tiny beneficial mutations and millions of generations can produce. And of course, with genome sequencing developing over the last 40 years, it's allowed us to compare the DNA of different species and sort of check our answers in the back of the book. Anyways, using these techniques, if you want to see where our lineage broke off from that of octopi in the Tree of Life, you have to go back over 500 million years ago to a simple flatworm. But if you look closely, all of what we think of as the smart animals are over here on this side of the Tree of Life, including dolphins, dogs, pigs, horses, humans.
Reminder, don't eat anyone. They're all family.
But even birds, dinosaurs, and fish, and their intelligence and way of thinking are all related to each other, sort of like those arm bones I showed. But octopi developed their intelligence completely independently from everything over here, like an alien from another planet, and that's why they're built just so differently from us. For example, they have twice as many neurons as a cat, but unlike all the animals over here where all the neurons are focused in the brain, in octopi only 1/3 of their neurons are in the brain, and the rest are in their arms, which means they not only smell and taste, but they can even think and act independently with their arms. That means that even if their arm is cut off, the arm can still camouflage itself to the surrounding.
Yep. Bye guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. This is the ending. There will be a part 3 about this thing. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Part 3?